Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Yemi.
And I'm Doc.
So today we're heading all the way to the continent of Europe, people. Yes, because we know as semi-retired, retired, nomad people, you want to see the world a little. So when we hear of changes that are happening in the travel world, we promise to bring it to you so you can be better prepared. Okay, so prior to this year, if you had a United States passport, if you had a Canadian passport, you could enter the UK without receiving any visas or authorization. As long as you were staying, I believe it's for 90 days. Okay. Guess what? That is changing. Okay. Now, the UK is requiring guests from Canada, from US, and even from the rest of Europe. You know, it's about that Brexit thing. But anywho, we're not going to talk about that here. We don't touch any of those kinds of topics on this channel. There are plenty of other channels for you to get your feel of those things. But they have instituted what they're calling the ETA. It's an electronic travel authorization. Okay. It's a little different than a visa. Okay. It's really not a visa. I know people keep calling it a visa, but it's not. And it's different from a visa in that if you've already had to procure a visa to visit the UK, you do not need an ETA. Okay, we're going to call it ETA, electronic authorization, sorry, electronic travel authorization. So if you already have a visa, you do not need an ETA. The good thing about the ETA, it can be done completely online, hence the word electronic. This is not a piece of paper. This is not a stamp that has to go on your passport. They link it electronically to your passport. We recently had to do this because our family well, by the time this video drops, we would have gone on our family trip to, well, 4 or 5 countries in Europe. And we were starting from the UK. So we had to do this. We had to do this. So the ETA, I'm just going to take you through the steps of what to do for the ETA. And we promise to drop the link down below. We will drop the link of how you can get this ETA. And the link that we will be dropping, folks, because we are a community, when you find something great, you share with your community. This is the direct website to getting the visa from the government, from the UK government. Folks, do not click on all those links, because if you go right now on Google, if you pause this video for a second and you go right now to Google and type in electronic travel authorization from US or Canada to UK, you're going to see a lot of things popping up. There are agencies that are now popped up and they are trying to make money.
Trying to sell you ETAs that you could get by yourself.
On your own, people.
On your own, yeah.
You know how we are. We're DIY travel people. So do not go to any of those sites, because guess what? They're going to be charging you more than the fee, the official fee for the ETA. Okay. How much is the fee? Let's talk about the fee. The fee is £10.
Yeah.
That's it. Not €10, £10. Great Britain pounds.
This is about $13 and change.
About 13.26, depending on the exchange rate. But when we did ours, it was $13.26. So it shouldn't be more than £10. Do not let anybody charge you more than that, unless the government, the British
Why
government.
you want to spoil my business?
Okay, you're gonna start a business. No, do not click on this link. But anywho, so it is £10 right now. Of course, there have been conversations about this fee probably, maybe, possibly going up in the future. But right now, as of the date that we're doing this video, it is still £10. Okay. What do you need to get your ETA? So I want to make sure that I get all this information to you so that it's clear. What do you need? You're going to need a passport, a current passport.
Naturally.
Okay, make sure that your passport is at least 6 months out. That's a good rule of thumb for anywhere, any country that you may be trying to visit people. I am so sorry. That's a good rule of thumb. Make sure that your passport has at least 6 months validity on it.
I would do 9.
It will do that,
Possible.
just to be sure. Okay. So you have your passport, okay? How long does the ETA take? When we did ours, we're a family of 4. We actually had 3 come back instantaneously right before I was still doing the others. And the other one didn't come back because the payment method that I used, the card was saying, wait a minute, you've been doing this is third time. It's the same amount. They thought maybe I was in front of a merchant or buying something and they were running multiple times. So we had to kind of text them on the app and saying we approve it, but we didn't know they had sent us a text. So that's the only reason the fourth one was not instantaneous. So for us, it was instantaneous. Now, what the government tries to do is do a quick security check on you when you do this visa. They do run that security check. So the questions that they're going to be asking you, please be truthful. Nobody's perfect. They're not looking for perfect people to travel to their country. So make sure that you are truthful because things always look bad if you lie and then the security check that they run pops this lie out. It's not worth it now unless you've killed somebody. Then maybe you should not be traveling. But other than
No,
that,
maybe you should not be killing somebody.
well, that's a lesson. I'm sorry. Maybe you should not be killing someone. So they do run a check. They really do run a check on there. So you need your passport. You'll pay the fee. We already talked about it. They will need a valid photo. Okay. Now you may say if you're of a certain age like we are that wait a minute, you just said I'm applying for this online. How am I going to get them a photo? Oh, I love technology, people.
Right.
Upload a photo of yourself. It does not even have to be a passport photo. It does not. So 2 of us in our families had a passport photo. So that was good and dandy. But the other 2, I didn't have passport photos for. So I just had photos that we had taken and I uploaded it. Now the system will tell you automatically if your photo meets all the requirements, but even if it doesn't meet all the requirements, your photo, it will say, well, this photo appears to not meet all the requirements. Would you still like to use it? So they ask you that now.
Fair chance.
Yeah, fair chance. So you have eyes. Take a look. If the photo looks all jacked up, just say no and find another photo. But if it looks fairly decent, that they can make out the actual face, the facial features of the person in it. I mean, I winged it. That's what I did on 2. I just winged it. So I winged it, especially on 1. I winged it. And I went on ahead and said, yes, use it anyway. Let me know. And they will give you a warning that if it turns out that this photo is not acceptable, you'll have to do this again. They do warn you. Okay. Now, the kicker about this, every time you do it again, you got to pay the money. It's non-refundable. That's why they ask you, are you sure you want to use this photo? So go on ahead and decide if it's worth it. Of course, if you can get to the person in your family, just get to them and take a quick photo. 2 of us, actually 3 of us were in one continent and the other person was in a different continent when I was applying for this. But everything went well. You will need to provide contact and passport details. Make sure you're providing your current contact details. Don't put information that's outdated on there, please. And then they ask you a set of questions. It's simple. It is simple.
Like, did you kill someone recently?
Yeah.
No, not
No,
that.
really, yeah. Criminal record. Yeah,
Oh,
they do ask. No,
okay.
because I did the process for all four of us. Yeah, they actually do. Well, no, they don't say to you because someone, they just ask. We need to stop. They just asked about your criminal history. That's it. Okay. So now that you know all of the general information, okay, what happens then if your application is rejected? Well, the good news is they're going to tell you why. It could be that photo that you shouldn't have used. They're going to tell you why it's been rejected and you cannot appeal. Again, I've told there is no appeal process. You're only paying £10, which if you're using US dollars at the point that we did ours, which was late December, it was $13.26. So the exchange rate may have changed for the Great Britain pounds. Okay, they do not accept euros. They'll just do the
conversion.
calculation, the
Yeah.
conversion for you. Okay, so if they reject it for whatever reason, you're gonna have to apply again, and the application is easy.
Especially if you're paying by credit card, the credit card does the calculation for you.
Yes, yes, the credit card does that calculation. And folks, if you are applying for more than yourself, which it's perfectly legal for you to do, they will tell you that. They will ask you that. Remember that you cannot just do all four in a row. Each process from A to Z, you have to do for each person in your party. So we're a party of four. I had to do mine first. I always use myself as a guinea pig, obviously. And then it asked me, is this for me or for somebody else when I started? I said it was for me. So I went through the process. And then doing Tox's, I had to start again. Like you're getting back on the site again, you're doing all of that stuff again. It doesn't save any information from when I did mine. It does not. So it's like each for each person. So if you're doing 10 people, you're gonna have to start again 10 times. It's just that simple.
And that is why you charge people to do it for other people.
Yeah.
Because you're starting all over.
Yeah, you are starting. I mean, you are starting all over again. So you might as well do that. So let's talk about the big question. There's been some news lately about if you're just transiting through UK, do you still need an ETA? So when we did ours, right on the website, it was very, very clear. They said yes, if you're transiting through. Okay. Now we're not just transiting through, we're actually spending some days in the UK. But I guess there was a lot of outcry that, wait a minute, what if I just have a connection? Why do I have to pay this £10? Can you imagine all the money
It's a lot of money.
UK
For
would have
passing through.
made? Oh my gosh, that would be a lot of money. So there was a lot of outcry, rightly so. So right now, as of the date that we're taping this in February of 2025, they have put a pause on requiring you to get the ETA if you're just transiting, meaning you're not going through customs again, you're just using UK as a connection point. So you're flying in from another country and you're going to get on another plane to go out of UK. So you do not have to do it as of the date that we're recording this. I imagine they probably won't change that again because there was just a lot of outcry because that's a lot of money. Even if your connection is half hour, they won't. Well, most connections are not half hour, but even if your connection is an hour, 2 hours, in December they were requiring you to get the ETA. But again, right now is on pause. Okay, so if you're just transiting through, you do not have to apply. You just joined us for information that you don't need right now. So, but just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, please. Okay. Let's see. So that is all. Let's talk about how long this ETA is good for. Guess what? it is good for 2 years. 2 whole years, you can go and come as many times as you need to. Okay, that's a wonderful thing about it. You pay the ten
That's good,
pounds,
yeah.
yeah. You pay the £10 once, and you can go back and forth, which is fantastic. Okay, so we've focused a lot on U.S. and North American. Guess what? Europeans. There are some countries in Europe that will be eligible to not get a visa to the UK, and they can get the ETA. So the ETA is in lieu of your visa. If you already have a visa to the UK, folks, you do not need the ETA. That's double whammy there. Okay? You definitely you do not need the ETA. Okay? Now, they're working on eligible European countries to be able to apply for the ETA from about March 5. That's what is posted on the UK government official website. So, okay. So, in wrapping up, an ETA, Electronic Travel Authorization, is essentially just a digital authorization that says, hey, you can come on in. You okay, you're legal, we already ran your security check. We know you haven't just killed somebody, so that's why they're running that. So it's supposed to make the process a little smoother.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, this
was smooth when you did it.
Yeah, it really was very smooth. It really was very smooth. Okay. So don't fret. You don't have to pay somebody to get this. We have the DIY travel experts here, and we travel well. So make sure when you go on Google to search, all these agencies are gonna pop up, and they're gonna probably pop up first before the official UK government website, because they're probably paying to have their pages pop up first.
Isn't the website gov.uk?
I believe it is. We will drop the link for you so you don't have to go search for it. We will drop the link below. Okay, we will definitely. And for those of you out there that have actually applied for this and have gotten it, put something down in the comments for us. How was the process for you? Okay, how was it for you?
Did you have to do something different? I doubt it, but
Yeah, I doubt it. But how was the process for you? Did you find pictures that were acceptable? Did you say okay to using crappy pictures like I did on one family member? But it worked out. It still worked out great. I know.
family member.
It still worked out great. Okay, guys, drop your comments, your questions in the comment section. If this video has been useful to you, please share with family and friends. Anyone that even has Europe on their bucket list, because I will tell you, flights to the UK usually come out cheaper. That's a good gateway to getting into Europe. So even if you're not going to spend a lot of time in the UK, share this with them. Okay, share this with them, and of course, we'd like you to become subscribers. So if this has been useful, go on ahead and hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Okay. We thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.